Oh hey, welcome to a little tips and tricks and showcase video of Planet Crafter. And well, obviously you can see, and it's an early build of the game, and basically I've looked for a lot of guides online when I was playing and I couldn't find anything, and now that I've reached more or less the end, I wanted to make a quick video to just help out anyone who might be like me and not know what they're doing and would probably have benefited a lot from some tips. So I'm gonna go through the tips, check the description. I will probably put some type of short guide kind of thing to show you where to watch, and then that'll help. So basically, the first thing I want to do is talk about uh, going over the cap, which is like the game has a thing where it pops up and tells you that you've reached the maximum limit of what you can play, and basically the way to play more is to go into your library file and then go to the game and basically just right click it, and then select the settings, and then you'll be given this menu. Then you just go to betas, and then you can put in the development, and then just choose that, and then it should let you, well, basically when you go back into the game, it'll let you play. So uh, that is, well, that is the bare minimum knowledge, I guess. And another thing is uh, uh, over here is my current base. As you can see, there is a lot of water. And one of the mistakes that I made was, well, I built my base where my starting hub ship landed, which was all the way over there, in that, right there, somewhere there, in the water. So the first tip is do not build in a low elevation area. I'm sure you've actually seen this quite a lot already. If you've been looking for guides and information about the game, definitely do not build in the starting area. Try to find somewhere higher. I personally built here, and it looks to me like it pretty much worked out perfectly. Uh, well, you can see the coordinates at the bottom left, and in general, it's just a little bit above the area, and it looks kind of like this. So that's a little bit of a reference point. Probably the easiest reference point is having that over there and pretty clear. Hopefully it doesn't rain because my FPS will die. But anyways, the next thing is osmium and sulfur location. So these are like just resources that I found are, kind of important in the game. From what I've understood, uh, Osmium is limited resources, or a limited resource, and it does not, kind of respawn or whatever, and you can't get more than what you have. I saw some guides telling me to, conserve it, but overall, it doesn't really matter, I don't think, because, for example, these use Osmium, and you can just break it down, and you'll get the Osmium back. So it really doesn't make much of a difference, to be honest, I don't think, other than things that, maybe permanently using it up, like maybe some type of gear, but I don't think they do. Anyways, very quickly, osmium. Uh, I am drowning. I'm dying. Help. Here we go. So first of all, I have a marker, which is specifically the red marker. So I'll be heading to that marker, wherever it is. Where did I put it? Over there. Cool. So basically, that is the location for, I would say, mainly just sulfur, and also osmium, which is nice, and iridium. So actually, a bunch of stuff there. So I guess I'll talk about the ores now, might as well. But iridium is a farmable resource. Uranium is also a farmable resource. Whereas uranium, I have no idea where to pick it up, naturally spawning at least. So I would say pretty much just from looting chests. Iridium, on the other hand, spawns in this cave. Obviously, there isn't any because I already looted it all. But this is the location that iridium will naturally spawn in the world, which will help you basically reach a little bit of a stage where you're able to farm a little bit more. There, that's the iridium natural spawn right there, and there you go. So that's that. Iridium location is here. You can farm enough to probably get stuff built, and then you can always use the rockets, send them up into space and get more. I don't know if these things respawn. I don't think they do, but they might. And then that is pretty much it for this location. Uh, Now I will head to the other location, which is very far away. Probably should Should have thought of a better idea. But basically, the other location will be for the osmium and the sulfur. So I've actually found two osmium locations, which well, I looked all over the internet. I couldn't really find anything, although I didn't really try that hard to find, but it's a pain in the ass and I couldn't find it. But anyways, I found two locations for it. The first location, don't really know why there's a marker there. I don't really know what happened. Anyways, the first location is up on top of, oh, there it is, the blue marker, right? Okay, cool. I shouldn't have done that. Anyways, the blue marker is the location for the sulfur and osmium. And so basically, a way to know where this is a huge ship that's on top of a elevated location. So the base is probably somewhere in that water there, and it's right above there. There's a lot of sulfur here, and there is some osmium. So basically, after you head up to the top, you'll see this wreckage. After you see this wreckage, you can head into the cave on its right, over here. And in this cave, you will see that thing, which is basically a blockade kind of thing. And I believe, from what I understand, the more your world is terraformed, the more you'll have access to the cave. And for example, here is where osmium will spawn. On the floor, it's blue, it's bright. I took it all, so it kind of looks like that. But in general, this is where it spawns. So if you need osmium, you would come here and you would loot it all. That's what it looks like. And after you head through this area into this area here, which is, yellowy, kind of sulfur-like, this is where you would farm sulfur. Sulfur is right here on the floor. I don't know if this respawns or not. So far, I think it might. Don't quote me on that. There's also aluminum here if you needed that. But anyways, sulfur spawns here, and there's quite a lot of it. And it's, hopefully it does respawn, but at least there's a bunch. Other than this, you can, oh god, there's a meteor strike. You can also head to this area behind it. So basically, you would probably just look at the north symbol, I guess. And then also just very generally go through the sulfur area into this crack, and you'll see this huge open area here. I don't remember exactly what was here on the floor, but I'm pretty sure it was nothing special. There is actually super alloy, I believe that's what it's called, in these little, in this mist itself. So within this mist, I don't know if you'll see any because I've already looted it all, but in this mist, kind of in this mist close to here, close to these rocks and stuff, there will be actually super alloy naturally spawning for you to harvest, which is very nice. Another quick tip that I remembered is that in one of the areas, other areas that are kind of like a Grand Canyon-like, a lot of crevices and a lot of big pillar of rocks, you'll also see a bunch of alloy on top of those rocks. Anyways, this is the second location that I wanted to show, which is osmium. It may take me one or two tries to find it exactly because my memory is bad and I'm confused. Anyways, there is a secret kind of hidden cave amongst this mist. Oh, here we go. And it's generally how I remember is it's pretty much in the middle of this area here. And if you head straight into this area, there will also be osmium ore on the floor around this area in this cave. So that is about it for osmium. And so I guess I can show you this trick, I guess, which is basically respawning trick. This is pretty much my last trick that I'll kind of discuss, which is the osmium, or sorry, suicide basically kind of trick. I don't support suicide, but in this game, it's pretty useful. I use this trick pretty often. Basically, when you're in an area, like for example here, and you're like, oh, I gotta loot all this stuff, oh my god, what happened? You need to loot all of this stuff. You loot it, and instead of just walking all the way back, maybe with your oxygen tanks, you just die, and you actually don't lose any of your stuff. There's really no disadvantage other than you go back to your spawn location. So how spawn location works is one of these bases that acts as a spawn location. When you enter that area, that is your spawn location. And when you remove that location, which I remember doing, it spawns you in the middle of nowhere. So keep that in mind. Don't do that. It's a very bad idea. So yeah, now boom, back in my base with all my stuff, right here. All the stuff. I didn't lose anything from leaving, which is pretty nice. I guess it's like an easy mode kind of thing. But yeah, so that's about it really. Let me just unload this stuff so I can show one more thing, which is not that good, but it's basically my way of remembering the rocket drops. So basically, when you're doing these rockets, I'm not necessarily going to show you because it's pretty simple to understand, but these rockets will basically shoot up into space and send down meteor strikes. So you saw meteor strikes before. Basically, it creates rubble on the floor. One thing that you can do is actually just wait for those rubbles to despawn. So basically, after you shoot the missile up, you just kind of chill up there on the platform and wait, and then you just look around and see where they land, and just go mark northeast or whatever, south or whatever where they land. Then you can go back and collect them all later. Um, that's just something for me because I have bad memory and I couldn't really figure out where they all went. Another thing you can do is just wait a little while, and in time, the huge rocks that block your view will disappear, and only the ores will be left. So that's also extremely important for harvesting materials. So that about is it for the tips that I have, and basically I'll show you a little bit of what I've done and kind of just showcasing what I've done because I thought might as well. Game is fun. Why not show people what I've done? So basically, we got my current thing. I've watched a lot of videos also, and they weren't to where I was, at least from what I've seen, and they just kind of stopped when they ran out of content. I kind of didn't have anything else to do, so I just continued. Anyways, I continued doing these, so my oxygen produces quite a lot. And I have a bunch of heat and pressure. And then also for this thing, the stair is in the way, but I'm sure you can see it still. I've reached the tree stage of infinity. I do not know what that means, but it was pretty disappointing seeing the outside. Just, not really having anything happen to it. As you can see, it's pretty much a wasteland still. And I'm not really sure how to get the insects or whatever, the trees or whatever, naturally spawning. I don't think it's a thing yet, but I place these things. I assume they would automatically spawn me some more, actually make it look like I terraformed the land, but I guess not. Maybe the lakes was the only thing they have so far, which was very interesting. I did not play this game prior to this moment, so this is actually all new for me, and I have not been playing it like some of the other people in the videos a lot earlier. So for me, when I first played, the lakes were already a thing. I did not watch any guides, and everything flooded, which was horrible, and I had to move everything, which took over an hour. Uh, I have built everything in the game. I have also unlocked everything in the game. Yes, the Biodomes 2 unlock took literally forever. I think full day of AFKing, waiting for this stuff to tick over at least. Um, I believe it's here, this location. This stuff. Yeah, sorry, not even the biodome, just like the water filter and stuff. But overall, it's pretty good. It wasn't that bad. After I started getting some other things, it was a lot easier. But anyways, the my base is like this. This first floor is kind of like my crafting floor. I have this set up here with crafting and crafting there. Some dumps with these as my main chest. So one of the ways I found that, I don't know if this is like worth putting in the original video or in the first part of this, but my way of placing chests is like this specifically, and that's because this tile actually allows you to walk through it if you have two in a row, two chests in a row, as you can see, and it just fills it straight this way. And then you can also even like, just put one vertically here. And then also, yeah, basically I just continue it over there. And so these are storages. Basically, these are just all filled with those resources. And then I also have on the second floor a farm zone, which has seeds and plants and materials, and that's basically all I have this floor for. It's pretty empty, but why not? And then on this floor, I have my heat generator, so this is the majority of where my heat's coming from. And then I also have backup storage. So this will basically go like that, which is what I talked about before, all the way across, and then it would fill this section. And then always you can just extend across this way for more space. On the top, I have my reactors, so uranium. Basically, they're nuke reactors, and I got 4 of them. Since the nuke stuff is uranium is a resource you can farm. Realistically, you can have infinite of these and infinite of these. So, and these are my miners. I have a few of them generate resources, which is pretty nice. I have those biodomes tier 2s, which generate a huge amount of oxygen, which is where my oxygen is coming from. And I have these guys over here, really quick. These guys basically generate more oxygen percent. Basically, I think from these stack. And then this is where my pressure comes from. I got a few solar panels. They don't really do as much as the nuclear reactors, but they help. And then, yeah, so then this is my lab for chemistry stuff, where I have basically, you can actually connect these, which I thought was pretty interesting. And this is a useless room. This is the tier 2. Doesn't really do anything. Not much space for storing. And then there's also this area here for these rockets. And basically, this thing here it was huge. It upgraded my oxygen capacity, creation capacity by like an extra digit, by an extra 0, which was absolutely insane. So that is pretty much all I have. Thank you for watching. Hope you got some information out of this. And yeah, have a nice day.